I think rather than going through the game from first minute to 90 minutes, I'm just going to speak about a few things. Now, I'm not going to try and find any positives to this because that would be absolutely ridiculous. However, I don't think that there was much in the game. And again, people are going to jump all over me for this, but listen. Celtic, when going forward, were much more direct. They looked more dangerous. When Rangers were going forward, it's not a new problem. Rangers were trying to walk the ball in the net, try and score the perfect goal. Celtic were direct, and they always looked like they were going to create something dangerous when they were going forward. The Rangers, you were thinking, what's happening now? They would get into the final third, and it'd be like they would be out of ideas. And it's not the first time we've seen this. This isn't a new problem. And the other big problem Rangers had today is that they kept switching off, which you cannot afford to do in an Old Firm derby. First goal, throw into Celtic, they take it quickly. The ball ends up going across the Rangers box and into Abada, who scores, and McLaughlin should keep it out. He should be tipping that round the post to keep it at 0-0. He had a very poor game, McLaughlin. There's no question about that. Rangers could have been level. Barisic played a brilliant ball in. Cholak, it wasn't his game, to be honest. He didn't get much support, but it wasn't his game. He tried to do stuff, Cholak, but he didn't have the support. And I think Rangers really suffered on that right-hand side. Because there was no Tom Lawrence today, it was a huge, huge miss for Rangers. I think he's the kind of player who would have thrived today. And then Tillman could have played his much more natural number 10 position because he's just not a wing. He's just not a winger. It's as simple as that. He's just not a winger. He's not got the pace. So when Scott Wright came on in the second half, he was more direct. He tried to make things happen. Something that Ryan Kent should have been doing on the left-hand side. Now, Ryan Kent had little moments in the game. He would go past players and stuff, but he should be looking at what Scott Wright did today. On that left-hand side, go past a player, drive at the box, make something happen. Don't just keep trying to beat players time and time again. Just try and make something happen. You can't score if you're constantly out wide. Now, Barisic played quite a few good deliveries in for Rangers. He was one of the few players that gained pass marks. Lundstrom had a very, very poor game. Davis was okay. Kamara wasn't great. Tillman wasn't involved. Ryan Kent was really poor. Cholak, just wasn't his game. Tavernier was poor. Again, Sands was one of Rangers' better defenders. And then the second goal, again, Rangers sleeping from the free kick. Lundstrom, Davis and Kamara all kind of ball watching. The balls played quickly through to Jota, and it's a brilliant finish. I mean, you can maybe talk about McLaughlin's position, but Jota does brilliantly to lift the ball over him. And then the third goal, that ends up going under McLaughlin's legs. Again, Rangers just terrible defensively. And the fourth goal was diabolical. McLaughlin's basically passed it straight to, I think it was Maeda, and he made it 4-0. I believe it was Maeda. I'm not 100% sure about that. But it was just a terrible day at the office for Rangers. And had to been more proactive, not just kind of tippy-tappy. Things could have been different. I don't know. There's no positives to be had. It was a dreadful result. We're 5 points behind now. I don't see them dropping many points. It's not been good. It's not been good at all. But as I say, there wasn't much in the game. It's just Celtic got the big moments correct, and Rangers were horrendous in the big moments. I hope you see what I'm trying to kind of say here. I'm not saying that Rangers played brilliantly today or played well, because that's just not true. But at the same time, I don't think that Celtic were absolutely brilliant either. Were they the better team and deserved to win? Absolutely, they were. But I don't. When they beat us as 3-0 at Celtic Park last season, I think it was just after. Sorry, it would have been into January because it was after they'd signed the 3 Japanese players. They absolutely blew us off the park and could have been 5 or 6 up by half time. This wasn't a 4-0 game. Did Celtic deserve to win? Yes. Should they have won? Yes. Did they win? Yes. But it wasn't like that. It's just that Rangers, again, going forward, were quite passive. But it wasn't like Celtic had 10, 15 chances to score. They had opportunities and goals that could have and should have been dealt with, and they weren't. And Celtic got 3 points and they deserve it. I can't really say much more than that.